And good morning at 7:04 on this Wednesday, April 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, Judge Barry Tatum.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Coleman and Company on this brisk Wednesday morning. But it promises to be an absolutely gorgeous day with no chance of rain and possibly getting up into the low 80s, and just a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful Wednesday. And part of the reason it's a beautiful Wednesday is because we get to hear from the good folks with Cedarstone Bank. And on the phone this morning, we have Robert L. Bob McDonald, President and Chief Executive Officer of Cedarstone. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good morning, Judge, and it's great to be with you. And I did not know that you were going to be subbing in for Coleman this morning. I hate to know that I'm missing you.
Well, you know, I kind of thought maybe you got wind of it that I was going to be here, and that's why you're joining us by phone. But we know better than that. But how's the world treating you and the family?
Yeah, we're all doing great, thanks, Judge. We're glad spring is here. I wish we had a little better spring weather, but we're starting to get there, and so that's always enjoyable for me. And so we're staying busy, Judge. I tell you, I'll talk a little bit about the economy real quick. It's certainly, when you hear and listen to national economic news reports, you get a picture that doesn't look too good. You get a picture about high interest rates and possible recession and those types of things. But when you look around your listening area, things are in good shape. We certainly still have high interest rates, but it's not having an impact on economic activity. It's not having an impact on how people are acting right now. I mean, folks are buying cars and they're buying houses. Businesses are buying equipment. So we're probably going to see another rate bump next month, Judge, when the Federal Reserve Board meets, probably a quarter of a point. Probably see it increase at the same amount when they meet again. I think that's in June. And then all accounts are they'll pause at that point and reassess and see how these rate increases are impacting economic activity. So I think that's what we can expect these next couple of months.
Well, it sounds like things are going pretty well here. Maybe if we were to slow it down in Middle Tennessee, or at least our area, that maybe they wouldn't have to raise the interest rates again.
Well, exactly. We don't want to see the economy slow down. We understand we need to get inflation down. We understand that we need to get down the price and cost of basic necessities such as certain foods. We all know that we need to get those prices down, but at the same time, we don't want to slow it down too much where we fall into a recession. None of us want to see that. So,
well, it's always a balancing act, it seems like, and I'm glad there are some experienced people and like yourself that are monitoring that and know which direction to go. But one thing I do know about Cedarstone, besides the simple banking and it's simply better than the simply free checking, always free checking, is Cedarstone's a big community supporter and always has some events going on. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about what Cedarstone is involved in this spring?
Well, there are, Judge, and I thank you for bringing that up. I know our time's getting coming close to an end here, but there's three events I want to talk about real quick. First is next Friday is the 25th Annual Teacher of the Year program, and as you know, Cedarstone Bank and Wilson County Motors, my friends there, W.P. Bone, Payne, and Mitchell, we've been doing this program together for 25 years, and we're really looking forward to it. When we first did this, Judge, I think we had 18 or 19 schools across the county. Now we're up over 35. So there'll be 36, I think, teachers recognized and celebrated for being chosen Teacher of the Year by their peers at their respective schools. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have about 150 people in beautiful Baird Chapel on the campus of the great Coleman University. I know that's your program coming up, but they've been a great supporter of this event from the very beginning, and they're gracious to always share their beautiful campus and their people with us. Their faculty, their education faculty, creates a panel and chooses the teacher of the year. We don't know who's made up on that panel, but they do a great job each year, and we're very thankful for the role that they played for 25 years. And then also, Judge, the following week on Thursday evening is the second annual reception at the Fikes Fessington House that we're pleased to be a part of, and the funds raised go towards maintaining that beautiful historic building there on West Main Street. So we're delighted to be a part of that. And then the very next evening, there's an event in Donaldson at the Two Rivers Mansion that we are sponsors of. And again, those monies raised go towards the preservation of that beautiful mansion there in Donaldson, and Robert's very involved in that event. And so those are the three of many things that we're involved in these next few weeks.
Well, as always, you have a pulse on what's going on in the community and a supporter of our history, and always with an eye on the future. But Cedar Stone's got 3 locations: Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. 2800 Lebanon Road down in Donaldson, 4140 North Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet. And I know it's on Main Street, but what's the street address for the one in Lebanon?
It's 900 West Main Street, Judge, and so we invite your listeners who don't already bank with us to please come by and see us and visit with our great folks and let us tell them about banking with us and about our Simply Free checking account.
All righty. Well, Bob, thank you, and thanks for Cedar Stones for sponsoring Coleman and Company diligently, without fail, every Wednesday morning to start us off, and you have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, Judge. Take care.
All right. That's Bob McDonald with Cedar Stone Bank and the home of Simply Better Free Checking and Simple Banking, Simply Better. But as Bob mentioned, our show is going to be involving Cumberland University, which is an institution here in Lebanon, has been for close to 175 years?
180 will be 182 years next fall.
182 years, and that is Rusty Richardson, who's the Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I'm glad you had already done the math on that, and because I was just rounded it up in my head. I knew we were going back to the 1840s. And,
1842 to be exact, so a long time ago.
So I wasn't around back then. Coleman might have known somebody.
Coleman, I think, was. But
how are things going at Cumberland?
Going very well, but I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous this morning because I'm seated between an attorney and a judge, and I'm not quite sure how I got in this position.
You have the right to remain silent.
Thank you. I will not exercise that right this morning, if that's okay.
Hopefully we still keep the audience after that comment.
Yes. But back to your question, things are going great at Cumberland. It seems like only yesterday I was here and we were just kicking off the spring semester. Mm-hmm. We announced that we had the largest enrollment in the spring we'd ever had for a spring semester at just over 2,300 students. And now we're only 3.5 weeks away from graduation, where we expect to graduate the largest class ever. And it's hard to believe that the semester's gone that quickly, and things are wrapping up, and there's so much activity between now and May 6th on graduation. And we'll talk about some of those events later this morning. But things just couldn't be better at Cumberland. As far as that spring semester and the students we have, the faculty and staff we have, things are going on all cylinders. We've often kidded that sometimes Cumberland is considered the best kept secret in Middle Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Well, we've taken some real active steps to try to overcome that because we don't want to be a secret. And one thing we've gotten lots of comments on, very positive comments. Our marketing and communications department, working with Channel 2 and some other venues, have had some wonderful commercials in prime spots. Mm-hmm. During the Academy Awards, during the CMTs, during the NCAA March Madness. And every time those air, I get emails or texts saying, hey, I just saw that commercial. That was great. So I want to certainly do a pat on the back to that marketing and communications department.
Well, it's hard to keep a secret if you've got 2,300 students plus over there.
Well, and we're on track to have the largest fall enrollment we've ever had. And every indicator at this point says we'll be at 3,000, which has been a goal for Dr. Paul Stum for a couple of years now. And we're certainly, based on every indication, looks like we're going to be there this fall. So,
Do you have an idea about how many degrees are going to be awarded on May 6th on graduation?
between the graduate and the undergraduate degrees, there'll be over 600.
Okay, so you'll have a big crowd, and hopefully you can be blessed with a day like we're going to have today for your weather.
Well, one of the parts of my job description is I take care of the weather. So it'll be blue sky, it'll be nice and cool, and I'll be ready to go there. But
Well, I certainly hope you come through on that, and we got a forecast here already almost.
you have a
month out.
forecast. It's going to be a beautiful day, and just in case it's not, my attorney is here, as I mentioned before, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, when we come back from our traffic report and a word from our sponsors, we'll introduce your guest and about his role with Cumberland. And with that, MJ has her headphones on. It's time to get a word from our sponsors.
Thanks, Judge. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase coming through the Mount Juliet area right now as we stare at it live. 40 going westbound. 24's got a little bit of traffic volume as expected westbound to the Hickory Hollow area. All that traffic flow coming in behind it there from Rutherford County up through Brentwood, Franklin, 65 north up by Cool Springs. That all looks pretty good, at least at the moment. Nash Painting, they service all of Middle Tennessee. If you're getting your house painted this spring and summer, check with these guys first. They're number one residential and commercial. That says a lot. NashPainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
When you needed portable heating, cooling, generators and remediation equipment, contractor tools, or any other equipment or solution to help you get the job done, you trusted Absolute Rental and Supply. Now that same team brings you more equipment and more solutions as Herc Rentals. From construction and industrial to HVAC and homeowner, Herc Rentals has the gear and expertise to get jobs done efficiently, effectively, and safely. Visit us today at 1325 Main Street in Lebanon or online at hercrentals.com. That's HERCRentals.com.
We're back on the air, and with us is Rusty Richardson, Executive Director of Community Relations. And as you probably heard, we were having a conversation during the commercial break. But Rusty, if you would introduce Dr. Henshaw.
Sure, happy to. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mark Henshaw. Mark has been at Cumberland. He's wrapping up his first academic year with us. We've been blessed to have him. He's brought a lot of experience and a lot of talent to the university, to our staff, serving both as general counsel and associate provost.
Okay.
He also instructs in some classes, and it's just been a great addition for us, and I'm pleased to have him here. This is his first time on the Coleman Walker Show.
Well, welcome to Coleman and Company.
Well, thank you, Judge Tatum. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been really looking forward to this, and I appreciate the invitation.
Well, you'll have to come back when the real Coleman Walker is here. I'm a poor substitute. I don't even know if I'm a B team. Might be a C team over here. So.
No, my goodness. It's an honor to be here with you, but I would be delighted to come back, of course.
Well, I'm sure he'll have you. And Rusty, I'm going to leave it up to you to coordinate that with Cumberland.
That I will, thanks.
Rusty was giving us a little bit of a background about your job title and first year at Cumberland. And one of the things that Coleman always will ask you is tell us a little bit about your background and how your journey of life and professional life brought you to Cumberland.
Well, I guess the best way to lead in on that is to quote a song, "The Long and Winding Road."
Yeah.
But I had the good fortune of being born in Tennessee, so I'm a native Tennessean, though I left Tennessee for some time. My father worked at the Oak Ridge National Lab, grew up in East Tennessee, went on to college, decided to go to law school, and then also did a PhD. I did my law degree at the University of Tennessee and my PhD in ethics at Southern Methodist University in Dallas.
Okay.
I have had the opportunity to live in a number of locations, and including having the opportunity to serve as a Rotary Fellow, where I was able to study international law in the UK.
Great.
And then also as a Fulbright Fellow, where I studied the Indian court system.
Okay.
And so I've had a lot of rich experiences.
Well, with being a fellow with the Rotary Club, I assume you've been recruited or still an active Rotarian here?
Boy, I have been in Rotaries all over the world, and certainly have been in the Rotary here, visited the Rotary here, and so yeah, that is something I definitely want to do going forward.
Well, of course, General Counsel, and you indicated that you've earned a law degree, and then part of that is representing the university and kind of risk management, I guess, and knowing what you can and cannot do. But provost, if you would kind of give us an overview about what a provost position with the higher learning institution is.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that really attracted me to this role. I have to give kudos to our president, Paul Stum. He's done an amazing job of helping build Cumberland University. One of the things I think he does most effectively is ensure that Cumberland University is really present in the community. That means that he's present in the community. It means that others, Rusty, myself, Bill McKee, others are likewise very present in the community, and I think that's very, very important. But insofar as my role goes as provost, or associate provost, what I do is work with our provost, Bill McKee, in helping to enrichen the academic offerings at Cumberland University. So that means looking for new program opportunities, expanding the curriculum, bringing in new faculty, looking for ways to connect our curriculum to events that are happening around the world. Okay. And so I think one of the things that we strive to do is to make our curriculum relevant to students. And so that is something that's really, really enjoyable. So in some ways, being general counsel and associate provost sort of lets both the right half and left half of my brain work at the same time.
What do they call it, yin and yang or something
That's
like
right,
that?
exactly.
Well, one of the things is Mr. Richardson, as you were touching on about the growth of Cumberland, and certainly I think you want to also speak on this, Dr. Hanshaw, is Cumberland's got a nursing school, and of course you go to school, you take the classes, you pass it, but any nurse that is going to start off in that career has to pass, they call them the boards, I believe.
Yep.
And I've got some information here about Cumberland's results in their December board testing, if either one of you would like to touch on that.
Boy, we are so proud of our nursing school. The work that's happening there is amazing. We have a new simulated lab that students are working with, so they get real experience that's like working directly with patients in the classroom. And so it's a great, great learning environment. And we're real proud of the fact that our nursing students for our December 22 graduates, our nursing students had a 100% passage rate on the NCLEX, the licensing exam for nursing students. And that is extraordinary. There are not many schools around that can claim that.
I know Dr. Rudy is smiling about that up in heaven.
Very much so. There are over 40 nursing programs around the state, and literally only a handful reach that 100% pass rate.
And I believe the classroom that you're talking about, the practical application, that's over at the old McFarland Hospital campus. There was a business after hours there a month or two ago.
You're absolutely right, and it's a wonderful facility. If you've been there, if you've visited, you certainly know. It really is the top-notch equipment, the top-notch learning simulation environment for nurses. And so it gives them just a wonderful set of experiences coming out of nursing school.
Well, we've got that, plus there's a new master's level program that you wanted to touch on, and you talk about staying relevant. It's about 21st century technology.
Boy, it is. Academia is changing really, really rapidly, and we're, like other institutions, trying to keep up with the pace of change. But one of the areas of real growth is in IT. And so one of the things that we are launching this year, which we're real excited about, is a new Master of Science in IT Management. And so this will provide individuals who are, some of them will already be in the IT field, some of them are looking to get into IT, but it will provide them with the experience necessary to step into managerial roles within IT environments. And that, as you probably know, is a huge need in Middle Tennessee.
When you have people like me that know next to nothing about information technology, it's always good to have somebody to go to.
Boy, it is. And we have some good IT folks on our campus. We're blessed in that respect. And they were just working on my computer yesterday. So I know how important they are.
And what I find is that they're about they could be my grandchild. I mean, that's they're that generational change as we see. Also got a program approval for an LPN program, I believe.
That's right. Our new LPN to BSN program has been approved. We are really excited. That, of course, is a program that's going to give individuals who are LPNs now the opportunity to sort of elevate their own nursing opportunities by moving from their LPN status to having a bachelor's in nursing.
Okay.
And so that will, and most of these are already practicing nurses, and so it will provide them with opportunities to advance their careers and to step into, supervisory roles and other roles within healthcare institutions. So it's going to create a lot of opportunity for the students who go through this program.
Well, we're on a great time here with Cumberland. We don't have enough time to share all of the great things that are going on, but we've got information technology, got a 100% pass rate in the nursing school, got a record-breaking enrollment, and I assume record-breaking degrees to be conferred on May 6th. But a lot of people who are longtime Cumberland fans were going to say, well, how's the baseball team doing? And I know they're having a great year.
They're having a great year. They're away all of this week. But will be coming back for home games next year or next week. Their record as of yesterday was 24-9-1, and I haven't verified this, but I have to think they have scored more home runs this season because their bats have just been absolutely alive than any Cumberland baseball team. Some just massive scores they've done. So it's been fun to watch, and all the spring sports are in full gear right now. Especially our track and field have gotten lots of accolades. Students of the week, athletes of the week, and the NAIA. So certainly want to give them a pat on the back as well. And many of the other sports are also, they're now entering their tournament seasons and things like that. So there's a sporting event at least every single day, and sometimes 5 events in a day.
Yeah.
So it's always exciting.
Well, you've also got a busy calendar outside the sports realm for the month of April, or what's left of the month of April, starting with lecture series at the Vice Library in the Presence of Soldiers with Woody McMillan.
Yes, that's actually today, and that's open to the public. That's at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
Talking about the World War II maneuvers, the Tennessee maneuvers, that, of course, longtime listeners know all about that, but it's a great chance for the newest generation to find out about what role this area played in the preparation for sending troops in World War II.
And if I'm not mistaken, Cumberland University's campus was the headquarters for part of that Second Army maneuver.
It was the absolute headquarters. You would have General Patton there in what's now Paul Stumm's office. As a Navy man, he's still allowed to talk about that. But you've got that. Tomorrow, we've got Joe Scarlett coming to talk to our business students. Joe Scarlett, if that name's not familiar to people, is the former CEO of Tractor Supply.
Okay.
Now retired. Tractor Supply, of course, we've got one of their locations here in Lebanon. That's a $12 billion business last year, so it's a huge business. And it gives our students a chance to hear from someone who's been in those trenches and actually learn from real-world experiences. So he also serves as a member of our business advisory board that has been started up in the Labrie School, so we're very pleased to have that. And that, too, is open to the public for people that want to come by. Next Monday, as is our tradition recently, we celebrate or have a ceremony commemorating the Holocaust remembrance from World War II again. And we have a woman coming to that, and her name is Anya Baum. She's a 93-year-old Holocaust survivor.
Wow.
And she's going to tell her story. And at 93 years old, people may wonder, gosh, how is she able to do that? Well, she's also a star on TikTok, doing dancing and things like that. She's a very vivacious woman, but give people a chance to hear that. I think that ceremony is at 11 o'clock next Monday, followed by our Founders Day on Thursday the 20th, where we celebrate the history that started 182 years ago with the founders. And we are going to have some special things with that. We're going to honor two of our longtime trustees, Mr. Randall Clemens and Dr. Ed Thaxton, as emeritus trustees. So expecting a big crowd for that. That same night, we're going to have a program honoring Bill McKee and Fred Hefter, two of our longtime faculty members, for their MSP program, their Master of Public Service Administration. And then we follow that again in just 3.5 weeks with all the graduation ceremonies, which actually go over a 3-day period.
Big weekend, May 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yes, we do the nursing pinning on the 4th. The graduate degrees are awarded on May 5th, and then all the undergraduates on May the 6th. So we've got a lot of work to do between now and May 6th.
Well, thank y'all for sharing that information, the good news, and welcome to Dr. Mark Henshaw and your
Pleasure to be here.
And hopefully you'll get to meet the man out here one day.
I look forward to it.
And with that, that'll wrap up our show. Thanks to Cumberland University for everything it does in our community, and hopefully it won't be a secret for much longer. With that, we'll go to a word from our sponsors and a traffic report.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, that regular oil change, $34.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic volume really heavy in a couple of spots, especially coming through Kingston Springs right now on 40 going eastbound. Behind it, all the traffic's being pushed in from Dixon County through Kingston Springs right now. Heavy and slow. 24 right into Hickory Hollow Parkway, Bell Road. That's just all that heavy traffic coming in from Rutherford County. Busy and crowded, but it's moving on Vietnam Vets as you get on that ramp there to 65 going southbound. Nash Painting, they service all of Middle Tennessee. If you're considering getting your house painted this spring and summer, check with these guys first because they're number one. NashPainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedarstone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedarstone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, Phoenix baseball fans. I'm Xavier Torres from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, and I play shortstop for the Cumberland baseball team. We're currently in first place in the Mid-South Conference and are ranked 22nd in the nation. We have 5 big conference games this week, starting Wednesday with a doubleheader in Georgetown, Kentucky, followed by a 3-game series on the road with Lindsey Wilson. You can hear all the games on these radio stations or online at WAMTFM.com or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Check our website for possible game changes due to weather. We appreciate your continued support. Go Phoenix.
A few more days of great weather ahead, but we are looking at rain chances at the end of the week. We're climbing out of the 40s and 50s to start the day, heading for a high of 78 with lots of sunshine. We will start to see some clouds by Thursday with scattered showers coming on Friday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
Welcome back to Coleman and Company. Barry Tatum, substitute for Coleman, who's on special assignment, as we like to say. The second half of Wednesday's program is sponsored by Herc Rentals, H-E-R-C Rentals, located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon, and they're always good about having somebody here in person. And this morning we have the man. I guess the area manager of this
just the branch manager
of Herc Rentals, Dave Hurst. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Barry.
We were just talking a little bit off the air about who's still down there and with the change of hands, and you still got the same crew and
still got the same crew. I mean, if you add up all the years that we've had, the experience in rentals, I mean, we've probably got about 30 years down there, so good crew.
And known most of you for a while because I come down there and rent stuff from time to time.
That's right.
I've never rented a wallpaper steamer, though, but I have rented a track loader and a dozer and a tiller and log splitter and that kind of stuff, and so I could still do that, right?
Yep, you still can. Yeah, we kind of went away from the wallpaper steamer, but we still have a lot of the big equipment, and we still have a lot of the small stuff too. So tillers, lawn aerators, blowers, drills, core drills, all that small stuff. We even have sewer snakes, sewer cameras. We've got it.
Well, I was getting ready to ask you when I heard the music coming on, the intro music. Do you have a 3-point hitch tiller for a tractor?
Not yet. That's probably on the list of things to get, but not yet.
Okay. Well, my daughter-in-law was wanting to raise some pumpkins, I believe, for my granddaughters, and I thought, well, I'll just tear up a part of my backyard and have them have a garden out there. They can come watch it, and I can hoe it out.
Right.
But what do you want to talk about with Herc Rentals?
Well, just remind everybody, we've had a really good week of weather here, so now's a good time to get that lawn aerated, time to put some seed down. We carry the seed, we got the lawn aeration equipment, we've got walk behinds, we've got stand-ons as well. With cedar boxes. We'd also carry the seed, we carry straw, so if you want to get that lawn looking nice, we've got what you need.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work, Dave.
You know what they say, no pay, no gain.
That's exactly right. You see somebody that's got a good-looking lawn, that's somebody that's put a lot of effort into it.
That's right, yep.
But if you drive by, I've got an awesome crop of dandelions, and so you can help me prevent that, I
That's
guess.
exactly right.
Or maybe I'm just too lazy. I don't know. Located on West Main Street, 1325 West Main Street, and got a unique telephone number. 615-443-RENT, rent.
Rent, yes.
And I don't know how that translates into the numbers. It's in my phone. I know I can press it up. But y'all have got open Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays. And tell us your hours.
So Monday through Friday, we're 7 to 5, and then Saturdays, we're now 7 to 12.
Okay.
So we'll be open every Saturday now through pretty much through October.
And one of the things I know you've talked with Coleman about before is you've got a website where you can check about the different pieces of equipment that you have for rent, and I guess even book it or reserve it online.
Yeah, that's something new. You can actually make the reservation online, and they'll actually forward emails to us, and then we'll reach out to you usually within about an hour and confirm everything, get the information, and make sure you're set to go.
Okay. Yeah. And one of the things I know that y'all have always been good to me about is you deliver and you pick up.
That's correct. Still doing that.
And so that's really convenient, particularly if you don't have a equipment or trailer that's capable of hauling something heavy, which I don't. So appreciate y'all doing that. Anything else you'd like to add about Herc Rentals and homeowners or small jobs, anything like that?
No, I mean, right now, I think for a while there, we were out of a lot of equipment. We had a lot of big jobs going on, and some of those are winding down. So right now, I know guys have calling in, and we didn't have it. We're winding down a few jobs, so we do have, we are sitting good on some equipment, so give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
Well, good friend of mine, I'm not going to call Frank Lanham's name, but I was telling him one day that so if he ever wanted to de-stress or anything, one of the best things to do is just go rent a track loader or a dozer and push some dirt around. And I mean, it's like a kid playing with a Tonka toy.
That's right.
I know I always get a lot of kick out of that.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you for being here. Thanks, Herc Reynolds, for their sponsorship, 1325 West Main Street. And that telephone number, Dave, is?
Is 615-443-7368.
So you did know the numbers.
I did know the number. Yep.
443-RENT.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Have a great day, and I know you're going to have a pretty day for it. You're probably going to be busy.
We will. Thank you.
With that, it's about 21 before the hour, and we've got a couple of gentlemen here that are here to talk about an upcoming event that's going to be starting this Sunday, April 16th, and running through June 4th. We've got Johnny Markham and Kevin Owen from College Hills Church of Christ. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning.
Did y'all get a chance to sign the book? That's one of the things that Coleman always asks about.
We have not yet.
All right. Well, we'll get to that, but I know we got something important to talk about here, and I got a text message from Susie James, who's the head person here at WANT, and it was a program about The Chosen that's coming up starting this Sunday, and it's about the life of Christ, if I read the information correctly. And this is an opportunity to inform our community about this, and it's exciting to hear about, and I know you want to have a good turnout. So which one of you want to start?
Yeah, it starts this coming Sunday night at 5, and really what The Chosen is, it's the largest crowd-funded film in history, and it is the life of Jesus. But sometimes, when you hear about these stories about the life of Jesus, they're not well done, it's not very professional, it's not very gripping, but The Chosen has just taken off, and it is amazing.
If you don't mind me stopping right here, I'm going to have to show my ignorance. What is a crowd-funded film or program?
Well, it's kind of a pay-it-forward thing. It's not funded by some big outside source. It's a lot of people who've come together to fund this project.
Okay.
And it's just really taken off. I think we're in season 3 right now. They imagine 7 seasons.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's
but
okay.
I had to show my ignorance because I didn't know what crowd-funded meant.
Sure.
All right. Please go ahead.
And it's a telling of the life of Jesus that's compelling and beautiful and well done. It really shows the gospel in all of its beauty. And the characters are interesting. For a Christian-funded series, it is amazing, and it's really, really interesting.
Now, this is a film.
Yes, that's right.
That's been produced, and it's not live action. It's not acted by professional actors, but this is something that's been produced by professionals in the film industry.
That's exactly right. The actors, Jonathan Rumi, the guy who plays Jesus, is just wonderful. I mean, he's an amazing actor, and that's, it's professionally done. It's interesting and very compelling.
Okay. Johnny Markham, is there anything you'd like to add about this program, or how College Hills got involved with this?
You mentioned the quality, Kevin. Dallas Jenkins is the producer and director and writer, and he's known in the industry. Does incredibly good work. As Kevin mentioned, the actors and the actresses are first rate. Mm-hmm. There is nothing cheesy about this at all, and oftentimes with a lot of productions in this area, there is a little bit of cheese.
Okay,
that's exactly right.
But not in this case at all.
Okay,
the quality is so well done. As a matter of fact, it gets a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. And so
you're going to have to tell me what Rotten Tomatoes is. I am so sorry about that.
No, it's just a measure of the quality and the popularity of films and TV shows, and people vote.
Oh, is that where you how do you rate this experience?
It's a rating
like
system.
A 1 star through 4 or 5?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry about this. I'm kind of a dinosaur, I guess you would say. One of the things I've noticed in my line of work nobody ever winds up at the courthouse because things are going well in their lives. Something has happened. But one of the things that I have observed, it seems like, and other judges that I've spoken with have talked about this as well, is there seems to be, in the public at large, and particularly with the folks that I deal with, and I would like to get y'all's impression about this, seems like there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of times fear translates or forms itself into anger. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what I have a good idea about what the solution of that is, but as the Gospel of John talks about, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and you don't get to the Father except through him. And this is an opportunity, I guess, in real terms, to give folks who are novices, or maybe they are feeling that uncertainty, to get more of an idea about the life of Jesus and the trials and tribulations, and find that guidance, find that light to go towards.
That's exactly right. They did something, I don't know, a year or so ago, because we're in the third year. They invited a group of younger people who weren't church people. Maybe they were raised in church but had not been to church, and they said, we want you to come together to review a film. They didn't tell them what it was. They didn't tell them it was the film about the life of Jesus. And so they brought him into our room, I think about 20 of them. Mm-hmm. And again, these were folks who don't show up at church, might not know the plot line of the story of Jesus. And so then they told them what it was. It was this thing called The Chosen. And they watched an episode or two. And the response was amazing, because these are folks that it was emotionally impactful. They began to see the gospel in all its beauty. And they were asked the question, so, if you understand this is who Jesus is, would you show up for church? And they all were going, this is great. This is wonderful. It's like scales came off their eyes. They hadn't seen Jesus in a light that was real and compelling. And I think that's the beauty of The Chosen.
And to your point, Judge, about the anxiety and the stress and the short fuses that many in our culture seem to have today, the depiction of Jesus in The Chosen captures really well Jesus' non-anxious presence and the effect that Jesus has on people when they really get to know him and when they really see him and they really hear him, and how much of a calming presence he exudes, and how he blesses others to be able to put life into perspective. No matter what may be happening around him, just the power and the presence of Jesus to address all those issues of uncertainty and doubt and fear and all those emotions that people were feeling then and they're feeling now. And one of the beauties of the Chosen is all the stories of the people that encounter Jesus, and I think in The Chosen, the story is mainly told from the perspective of people who are encountering Jesus.
Okay.
And one of my favorite characters is Nicodemus.
Okay.
An accomplished actor by the name of Eric Avari plays Nicodemus.
Well, I'll tell you what, somebody who's getting anxious is MJ behind the window over there, because we're getting into the commercial and traffic report. She's waving me off, but we're going to go to that. When we come back, let's pick up on Nicodemus.
Will do.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. Low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitors' pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We still see a little bit of extra heavy traffic flow here through Williamson County. On an earlier wreck, it's going to be in the Paytonsville area. It's westbound on 840. Again, that's running pretty slow. If you're coming over from Rutherford County towards Williamson County, it's going to slow you down here on 840 westbound just before you get to the I-65 split in this section of Williamson County. Now, it's crowded through Mount Juliet, right on schedule from Wilson County towards Nashville. that's slowing down, not only through Mount Juliet, but in the Hermitage area also. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check them out online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on Tight Traffic.
Have you ever wondered what the ministry of Jesus was really like? Now, thanks to Angel Studios, you can get a glimpse. The most successful crowd-funded series in history is coming to College Hills. By now you've heard of or seen snippets of The Chosen, but maybe a busy schedule has kept you from enjoying it without interruption. Beginning Sunday afternoon, April 16th, and for 8 weeks following, College Hills will be hosting this outstanding portrayal of the life and ministry of Jesus. There will be no formal worship time or collection. The event is free and open to the whole family. Following the showing, there will be a Q&A led by members of College Hills and other faith communities. Join us for light snacks and beverages at 4:30 p.m. and for the 1-hour showing at 5 p.m. Reignite your passion for the Savior of the world and expand your knowledge of His mission. Once again, that's April 16th, 5 p.m. at the College Hills Church of Christ on Leeville Pike in Lebanon, Tennessee. Come and see for yourself. Visit collegehills.org for more information.
Welcome back to Coleman and Company. We're talking with Kevin Owens and Johnny Markham of College Hills Church of Christ about an upcoming event that's starting this Sunday, April 16th, and running through the first Sunday in June. And we had to cut off there before our commercial break, but you were talking about one of the first episodes in The Chosen, or the series that's coming up, is about Jesus' encounter with Nicodemus.
Right, John. There are 3 seasons, 8 episodes in each season, so they've done 24 so far, as Kevin said, with the hopes of getting to maybe like 7 seasons. But Nicodemus is one of my favorite characters, and just to be able to watch him experience and learn about Jesus and spend time with Jesus and asking Jesus questions, and to see how that affected someone of his stature and of his prominence, and just him dealing with that. And everybody who encounters Jesus in The Chosen, it's so fascinating to watch their reactions to Jesus, and to see how each person deals with him and how he deals with them with such compassion and kindness. And so many of those people who meet him are going through things in their life. We mentioned earlier, anxiety and stress and dark days, and how Jesus deals with each of those people is so encouraging, and it's helpful for us today, just as it was for those folks back then.
And this is something that's going to be held at College Hills Church of Christ.
That's right. And it's Sunday evening, so we'll start at 5 o'clock. We'll watch the episode. This is about focusing on Jesus, not about church. And so we invite all folks to come and join us,
regardless of denomination.
Oh, absolutely. And then at the end of the showing, we'll have a short question and answer period. One of the things I believe about The Chosen that's so beautiful is that it creates these gospel dialogues. And so we want to have an opportunity to talk about what we've just seen. You talk about anxiety and fear and all of that. I mean, there's a sense in which in all these episodes, it shows Jesus in this really incredible way, interacting with people, helping them with those sorts of things. Jesus is very practical. He is very, deals with the stuff we deal with in the life of all these individuals, whether it's Nicodemus, who's questioning who is Jesus and what does this mean for my religious background, or Mary Magdalene, who's filled with evil and her life is a wreck and a mess, and Jesus casts out the demons in her, and suddenly she has peace and hope and purpose and all the rest, or whether it's Matthew, who's a very interesting character in The Chosen.
Well, one of the things as we go through our life here, we have stresses that we can relate to in the 21st century. For example, my ignorance about 21st century technology and these different terms, but whether it's kids getting to soccer or mortgage or working 2 jobs or things of that type. But what the Gospels tell us about are folks, just like you were saying, that had struggles of their own kind. They weren't necessarily technology related, but they had uncertainty and stress in their life, and how there's a peace there that a person can find if they know what to look for and they know what to ask.
Yes, and the person, the actor who plays Jesus, Jonathan Rumi, he just exudes that sense of peace. I mean, you know, you will be, at least when I've watched the series, I've just been very impressed with how Jesus is portrayed. You know, he's not on the one hand portrayed as this holier than thou, you know, hovering 2 feet off the floor, can't relate to anyone kind of a person, but rather he is God in the flesh, and he is someone who offers forgiveness and hope and meaning and all that.
Anything you'd like to follow up with that, Johnny?
You're right, Jonathan. He does a great job. We mentioned earlier the quality of the production.
Yeah.
Scenes like, you know, the feeding of the 5,000. It was so well done. It has been filmed in Texas and in parts of Utah. It looks just like Israel.
Yes.
Matter of fact, that some of the places they say it looks more authentic than a lot of places in Israel.
Yes, yes.
And so the production quality is just excellent. And there are a lot of folks who have watched this in the comfort of their own homes. There are people who watch this in groups. We think that there will be a lot of fun and a lot of encouragement from watching it together as a big group
on a big screen. Because we have a big screen, and so you'll have that theater feel. You know, Johnny, one of my favorite episodes was when Jesus sent the disciples out 2 by 2. And you know, we don't know, one of the things The Chosen does, it kind of fills in a few details. You know, it speculates a bit without contradicting the Bible. You know, good preaching is imaginative. Not that you're just making things up, but you're trying to put yourself in the place of those first century people. And so when he sends them out 2 by 2, he puts Simon the Zealot with Matthew, the tax collector. Mm-hmm. Think about the dynamic of that. Here, a tax collector was someone that was kind of a turncoat. He was in cahoots with the Romans, and a zealot despised the Romans and was, you know, wanted to overthrow them politically. So to put these two disciples together, you can only imagine what that must have been like. And we don't know that Jesus did, but he did put them together 2 by 2. So they could have been.
Right.
So.
And even that is a beautiful picture of how people, even in our culture today, who have vast differences, can be brought together despite their differences.
Because of the gospel.
Because of Jesus.
If there's a time when the gospel is needed to bring people together, it is now.
Can I make an observation there, just a little thing about the vast differences? Truth of it is that we don't have that many differences between us. It's the perceived differences that we have. We all breathe the same air. We all walk the same path. We all come into the world the same way. We all go out the same way. We don't bring anything with us, and we don't take anything with us. But the differences that we have are fabricated. They're based upon biases and materialism and different things that we have. But I'll get off my soapbox. This is y'all's program.
As the old preacher said, the ground is level at the foot of the cross, brother.
Absolutely. And another one I'm fond of saying is you can't carry a judge and a cross at the same time, a grudge and a cross at the same time. One of the things I want to ask is, you said this is a series, and this is on the series 3, or what programs are being shown during your series?
For these 8 weeks, we're just going to do the first season.
Okay.
Do those 8 in a row.
All right. So this is, it's almost like, what do you call, I've heard the binging. Binge watching, and where you're going to basically have an opportunity for folks like me that have never seen of it, seen it or watched it or anything. This would be a way to start on season 1 and be able to carry on a dialogue saying, what did we just see, and how does that translate, or how does that relate to our life?
Right. That's exactly right. You know, there'll be again, that's the beauty of something like this. It creates environments where we can talk about the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's Jesus and the good news he came to embody and proclaim.
Yeah.
And if folks want to come and watch it, and typically those shows last between 50 minutes, 55 minutes to an hour.
No commercial interruptions.
No commercials.
No traffic reports.
none of that. And so we will just show that. And then if people just want to like leave at that point,
right,
certainly welcome to do that. But if you want to stay longer to discuss what you just saw and interpret that with others.
And this is not a worship gathering, so we're not gathering together to have a time of worship. There's not any preaching. There's none of that.
And I think I saw on there no offering. There's no passing of the plate.
That's right. That's
right. But did I also not see that there's going to be light refreshments at 4:30 or so?
That's correct. That's correct. You can arrive a little early and enjoy some refreshments. Take the refreshments with you into the auditorium and then enjoy the show.
Okay. So it's if you're a single parent, you got your kids, it's an opportunity to do that. If it's a young couple, an old couple, or just an individual, somebody just seeking to gain some more knowledge and maybe find that peace that we all seek, it's a good opportunity to start at what time Sunday?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. And no admission.
That's correct.
On there, it's free to the public. It's an opportunity to learn. Both of y'all are going to be there soon.
Well, actually, I won't be there this Sunday. I'm leaving later on this afternoon with a group of 34 people from our church to Israel. So we're going to be in the Holy Land for about the next 9 days, but I'll be there the following week.
I think I know some people that are going on your trip. I talked to one of them yesterday.
Oh, did you
we'll
really?
talk about that off the air. I'm like Coleman. I don't like anybody who don't want to know when I'm out of town.
I will get to be there Sunday night.
All righty. But it's going to start from this Sunday on April 16th and continue through June 4th. That's every Sunday.
8 consecutive Sunday nights, April 16th through June the 4th.
And I know I've kind of got us off track here a few times on that, but is there anything else we need to touch on, gentlemen, before we wrap up here?
I think you captured it.
I think you did. I just would want to say that it's interesting, compelling, and it's, one of the things about it's fun to watch. You'll find Jesus who loves to laugh, who loves children, who loves to dance at a wedding, who offers hope and forgiveness.
Yeah. Well, that's what we all need is hope and forgiveness and compassion for our fellow man. It's like I said earlier, and I genuinely believe this. People say, I can live anywhere I want to, and I tell us none of us can live 3 miles, 4 miles up in the air. It's too cold and there's not enough oxygen. We just got a narrow little band of air on this planet, and we need to take care of what we got and realize that we don't have that much difference from anybody else that shares that same spot.
Amen.
Gentlemen, thank you for what you do, and thank you for sharing this, and hope you have a great crowd out there starting this Sunday, and would love to see it continue to grow each Sunday. And with that, that'll wrap up this segment of Coleman and Company, and for those of you who are starting to suffer Coleman withdrawal, he will be back in the morning to give you a great update on his whereabouts and what he's been doing. Have a wonderful Wednesday.